So, all right, Monk. So some technical difficulties. What's your experience with technical difficulties?
Well, you know, like we are experiencing esports, and you know, esports is based on the vehicle of technology.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and of course, when technology fails, like esports sometimes fails. So we have to rely on that vehicle. I'm trying to paraphrase like whatever Tasteless says at every GSL. And whenever anything goes wrong at GSL,
Yeah.
I'm sure anyone who's like watched StarCraft would kind of appreciate that.
Yeah. You gotta appreciate the technical difficulties, man.
All right, so Lifecoach's Druid is eliminated, even though he won
Yeah.
the first match because, of course, we're playing Conquest mode.
Yeah, we
But
did
we're
lose
actually
the
going to
webcams
get
again,
into
so
this. We're
there
going to get
may
into
not
the
be
second
webcams
game.
here. Okay.
It's unfortunate, but
do
you know
not
what?
picnic. We got him. Picnic.
We
Do
we
not
d-
picnic.
we do have a second match, and it's going to be handlock versus handlock. Just an incredible match, and a match that we don't see very often these days.
Hand-on-hand action, dude. It is, yeah. You don't see this on the ladder for sure. Like you'd have
yeah.
to be playing handlock first, pretty unlikely, and then you run into another handlock. Yeah, haven't seen this in forever, man.
Yeah, definitely. And going to this match, I feel like Lifecoach is definitely going to have the advantage because he knows his opponent is playing handlock, whereas Tarei has no clue what kind of warlock deck that
Well, now he
Lifecoach
does,
is.
right?
Yeah, now he does. Well, not even because these days, handlock I feel is been on the decline, and demon lock has been on the rise. So he might as well think like this could be even demon lock.
Yeah. Both players playing pretty fast. Just. I would have thought if Tarei was considering Demon Lock, maybe he should be playing a little bit slower. But
Well, it's kind of the same decisions, except it's whether you keep Big Game Hunter or not in your opening hand. Whereas, yeah, Lifecoach one reason he has a big advantage is that he's able to keep Big Game Hunter because he knows Giants will be coming. Whereas Tarei, he'd have to throw everything back, mulligan for things such as like the zombie chows and dark bombs in order to deal against aggro against like zoo locks. And also, like, even if it's like if Lifecoach is playing a demon lock, he can't even keep the big game hunter. So it's kind of a lose-lose in that situation.
right. Okay, so we see the ropes here. What's this about? Is he considering playing Ancient Watcher or? Lifecoach.
Yeah, it's just he's considering whether he wanted to play the giant or the drake. Either is fine. The giant is stronger, especially against. Suppose like Tarei plays a Twilight Drake right now, the giant would be able to really contest that more.
Right. It's just about the tempo lost if Tarei had a big game hunter in his hand, I suppose.
So many possibilities.
Yeah, well, versus the tempo loss if Tarei had an owl, which he does. We know that he has an owl in his hand and not a big game hunter. So Lifecoach, like he chose the correct play just based on the 50-50 of which he had. He also just played the stronger play overall, so that's good.
Yeah. And Dark Bombs here, what do you think about that?
I mean, if it's your only way to get rid of the giant, then might as well be. But you're kind of trading like a 3-for-1, like the Dark Bomb, Zombie Chow for the Mountain Giant. Which I guess it's not too bad if you think about it a bit more because the Zombie Chow usually gets close to 0 value in this matchup anyway. So
Right.
any value you can squeeze out of it is just value that you're happy for.
Yeah, and the Dark Bombs are not necessarily going to have better targets unless he managed to put his opponent down on low HP, right? Like that, they're more like finishers, if anything.
Yeah, exactly. Or they help finish off like a Sludge Belcher or something like that, or a Lotheb.
Alright, so Sludge Belcher. We're going to have some Sludge Belcher on Sludge Belcher, or is he maybe considering Sylvanas?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Sylvanas would be a good play here, Monk?
Probably not, because Sylvanas costs 6 mana, and you're at 4 mana right now. So it'd be like kind of difficult to play Sylvanas. And
he has a
Tarei would
coin.
probably have to beat you.
Oh crap! I was looking at the wrong person. Was I? No, he had 5 mana, right? And he had
No,
a
he
coin.
has 4 mana right now. He has 4 mana and a coin.
I think you're ahead of me, dude. Is that even possible?
That's
Is it possible that you're ahead of me?
I think at these times when like both players are roping, it's possible that I think my game is stuck actually. My spectator mode might have broken down.
Broken down.
So broken down, yes.
Do not picnic, dude. Are you picnicking right now?
I'm actually gonna leave this game and rejoin.
Dude. Okay. Wish
It is the only choice.
Lifecoach playing his own Usher Drake. And there is an owl in hand, but then he has to get through the Belcher as well.
Alright, I'm back in the game. So no one picnicked.
No one picnicked whatsoever. I mean, I suppose Tarei can't be too unhappy with this, right? Like, he can still owl the Drake next turn and Shadow Flame the owl, perhaps after hitting the Belcher. Is that the play?
It could be. It's just the problem is hold up, I still not seeing Lifecoach's hand. Okay. Now I see it. Yeah, I guess that looks good. But I guess the problem is like you really want like a Mortal Coil here as Tarei. I was talking to Colento at one point, and I asked him like, "Hey, why do you like Mortal Coils and Handlock that much?" And like you would think like the answer would be like, "Oh, to kill off the 1 HP minions," but the answer he gave was actually that he liked the Mortal Coils just because like the situation comes up so often that you have a Twilight Drake trading against a Sludge Belcher, and you need that 1 damage to finish off the 5 HP of the Sludge Belcher. But we can see like Tarei, from Tarei, like this worked out really well. Instead of using the Mortal Coil, he was able to use the Defender of Argus to proc the Sludge Belcher.
Yeah. So that works. I guess that gives him a stronger flame as a stronger board than just using Shadow Flame. But that opens himself up to Lifecoach's potential own Shadow Flame here, like just a 4/1 minion, like easy sacrifice, right?
I think you're okay if this board gets Shadow Flamed. It's not a particularly strong board. And if your opponent uses a Shadow Flame, that means it's 1 less Shadow Flame for him to use later on in the game, where those Shadow Flames could be more impactful. Like Giant plus Shadow Flame is like pretty much a complete board clear against anything, and that's like something you're going to be more worried about late game. If this board that you have right now gets Shadow Flamed, I think you're pretty happy with that, just because like you can come back from it basically.
Yeah. Lifecoach using Hellfire. So lots of cards being traded all over the place here. People be going nuts, dude.
Yeah, my spectator mode actually bugged out again. I'm gonna have to rejoin.
All right.
It sucks.
So we are in Tarei's turn right now. There is an Ancient Watcher on the board. Do we see? You're on Lifecoach's turn?
We're on Tarei's turn now, actually. So
we're on Tarei's turn, dude.
Yeah, so probably your spectator mode bugged out as well if you just see Tarei, or if you see Lifecoach's turn right now. We have the Sludge Belcher going down.
We have the Sludge Belcher going down.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Tarei, he didn't draw the Dr. Boom, Dr. Balance in time for his turn 7, so I guess he'll have to play it on turn 8, which is slightly weaker, but I think that's still going to be fine.
I think Rob's thing bugged out, maybe. Is it bugged out, Rob? How do we fix it from Rob's end?
You have to rejoin the client. You have to rejoin the game, essentially.
Okay. 1 sec. You're on your own. 1 sec.
All right. So we have a Sludge Belcher on the board. We have Sylvanas from the opposing side, And the problem is there's no real easy way to clear the Sylvanas. You're probably going to have to leave it up on the board, which means like you might have to commit more to the board, but you don't really want to because there's Sylvanas on the field. You're just really weak to all sorts of plays, such as any sort of Shadow Flame play from the Sylvanas is going to be tough for you to deal with. But you know what? These are the situations that Tarei really excels at, these difficult board states and these difficult decks to play at. So he goes for a tap, and he's hoping for something good, just like something like Silence would be really nice to silence the Sylvanas. He decides to play a Sylvanas of his own, but it's a bit risky because that's vulnerable to being Shadow Flamed as well, or to being like something like even Dark Bombed. Like if your opponent trades his Sylvanas into your Sludge Belcher and then somehow clears off the slime, and then Dark Bombs his own Sylvanas.
Or even takes a 50-50, right?
Yeah.
Like that's gotta be scary as well. Monk, please, you're the absolute expert. Don't be shy to just talk way more than we do.
Of course.
So many
I'm looking at
possibilities.
Lifecoach's hand right now. It's actually fairly clunky. There's no like real minions that you can just slam on the board right now. It's all situational cards like BGHs, Mortal Coils, Shadow Flames, Anti-Keelbots, Silences, Argus, Sun Furies.
It's like a priest
So-
hand.
Yeah, exactly. Which is something you're very familiar with. You know, once we get to a priest game, I'm gonna let you like take complete
Dude,
charge
it's gonna
of
be
the...
insane. It's gonna be insane. So
Yeah,
Lance
this
gets
is-
the silence here.
For like how many cards Lifecoach has, like this turn was like really weak. Tarei just kind of gets like a free Shadow Flame here if he chooses to go for it.
There's no reason not to, right? That clears the board. It's 2 for 6, 2 for 4. Is it? So, no, 3
It's
for
like
4.
Many
So,
possibilities.
or 4 maybe. Yeah, I don't know. The slime counts for something, right?
Yeah,
It's like
so 2.5
Yeah.
for 4.
hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna go for it.
And then what else do you do after the
Doctor
Shadow Flame?
Boom,
Maybe
dude.
Shadow Flame plus Doctor Boom. Pretty
And
good
you have
turn.
the
if
mana
that's-
for Doctor Boom. You play Doctor Boom, right? That's how it works.
Well, you don't have the mana for
No,
Doctor Boom.
that's an
the-
issue then. That's an issue then, buddy.
It is. Tap plus Ancient Watcher. Not that threatening, but if you look at Tarei's hand compared to Lifecoach's hand, Tarei definitely has the better cards in his hand. And he also is at lower HP, so he's able to activate his Molten Giant. So I would actually give the slight advantage to Tarei right now at this point. Lifecoach did draw something that's non-situational, the Sludge Belcher. But he can't actually like Sludge Belcher and tap because he might risk drawing like a dead card. So if he taps right now, he might just like if he
Mortal
taps and he
Coil.
draws something not good, he might just like Mortal Coil the Ancient Watcher, for example. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I believe that is 10 cards in Lifecoach's hand.
That has to be the play, right? Like that has to be his
Well,
most.
Another
Disposal
play
card.
is like using the Sun Fury Protector just
Or-
as a 2/3 minion. I guess that's okay. The Sun Fury, I feel like it might not be that useful in this matchup because generally,
Flame?
like, yeah, Shadow Flame gets past taunts. Ragnaros gets past taunts. Like the taunts just aren't that useful in this matchup
Yeah,
compared
but
to
if you
something.
think about it, I mean,
that's-
Tarei did use an owl and the Shadow Flame already, so their value kind of increases a bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but then again, like in this matchup, like I feel like you don't lose because you ran out of taunts. You lose because you ran out of answers to your opponent's board.
So many possibilities.
So Tarei probably will play his first minion that's above 7 attack in this entire game.
Or
which is
at
going to be
7
pretty
attack.
funny. At 7 or more attack, yeah, which is going to be pretty funny because Lifecoach has had these like 2 BGHs in his hand for a very long time, and he's like, wait, I thought I was playing against Handlock, but I haven't seen any Giants or Dr. Booms or even like Ragnaroses. What's going on here? And it just happens that Tarei has been drawing not that well.
Yeah. Just trying to confuse his opponent.
So
But yeah, that also
many
means that
possibilities.
Lifecoach has pretty good turns ahead of him with the big game hunters. There's Dr. Bro.
Dr. Bro, is that what we're calling him?
Yeah, Dr. Bro.
He is kind of like a bro, right? Like, if you draw him on turn 7, he really helps you out in a clinch situation.
Yeah, dude, and look at his arms. Like, he's crossed arms. Like, I'm your bro. I got
Oh,
you.
yeah,
Yeah,
You know he works out, right?
of course, dude.
All right, so what's that card that he just drew? Another Defender
Oh,
Marcus.
I just got it. Dude, it's from Dr. Doom.
Are you serious? Like, did you just get that?
Yeah.
You know, it's obviously like Dr. Doom, and he has
Yeah.
his Doom bots instead of Boom bots.
Mm-hmm. And it's like the
It's
same
just
hoodie,
like,
too.
Yeah,
Wow. Mind
sudden
blown.
realization. I picture you like with that meme. It's like sudden realization. Whatever that guy's name is. He's like, oh my god, I just realized something.
The aliens guy? The guy that likes
that the-
aliens?
Yeah, maybe, I guess.
What's his name? Rob, what's his name? The guy that likes aliens and has weird hair? Someone in chat
He does
will
have
know.
weird hair, so yeah, you're probably right. Okay, so he's defending Vargasing, which means he'll be able to use his Mortal Quill. The Mortal Quills have been stuck in his hand the entire game too, so it probably will feel nice for him to use it. Oh man, 4 to face. That's something that Lifecoach definitely wants to see. He wants as much damage to his face as possible, which means like he'll be able to proc these Molten Giants. He'll probably be able to play like all 3 Giants next turn if he really wants to.
Yeah, but let's not forget there's still a Shadow Flame out there. Lifecoach probably expects it to be in Tarei's hand by now, right? Like, if he assumes that he's running double Shadow Flame. Only 9 cards left in his deck. So gotta be careful with that one.
Yeah. You know, it's Lifecoach has like a fairly threatening board right now, but none of it is like that impact. Like none of it has that much HP. So you really kind of feel bad about using your second Shadow Flame on it, just
Oh,
because
yeah, hell
if
no.
you use your second Shadow Flame, that means that your opponent knows you have no more Shadow Flames left, so he doesn't have to play around Shadow Flames. He'll be able to commit like all his Giants on the board. So I think this turn Tarei should be trying to clear as much of the board as possible without using Shadow Flame.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. So if he puts it down to like 2 minions, something like that, he'll probably be pretty happy. It's gonna come down to the bomb though. No!
Oh. Oh my god. He's
Right.
gonna use the Shadow Flame?
Questionable decision, I think. I don't know, man. I ain't
Alright,
no pro though, so I'm sure Tarei
You
has
just
his reasons.
you just missed an opportunity to say I don't know Kev. Because my name is Kev.
Oh crap!
Yeah. I'm sure you'll get it in later in the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, a pretty decent play would be just like throwing as many Giants as he can on the field, plus the BGH.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Tarei feels like he does have a VGH, so, you know, with his one Giant on board, worst come to worst, he can clear both Molten Giants, something along those lines. But, yeah, I'm not sure about the Shadow Flame there.
Yeah.
It seemed a bit
It's
lackluster.
unfortunate that Tarei didn't have a Hellfire that turn. Very unfortunate. Because everything was under 3 mana, or 3 HP the last turn, so it's too bad.
Lifecoach in fantastic position now. I think this is Ripperoni, right? Like, what do you do as Tarei here? You
Yeah,
get a
this is the exact
BGH,
situation.
and
Yeah.
that's it.
The exact situation I was referring to, like, because there's the second Shadow Flame has been used up, like, there's no way for Tarei to deal with all these Giants.
Yeah.
At most, he can deal with like 2 of them.
Yeah, and I mean, he has to expect. Lifecoach has a Shadow Flame of his own, and he does.
Yeah, so the best play that Tarei could do right now is probably playing both his Moltens plus taunting them up.
Yeah. And hope that
Perhaps
there's
even like tapping for another card. But yeah, there's pretty much Tarei is dead right now. The Lifecoach has the Shadow Flame in his hand, as we can see.
Yeah.
And there's going to be so many giants attacking his face the next turn. That's going to be impossible to stop.
It's gonna be some Lord of the Rings shit. A bunch of like, giants. There were giants, right? Like the trees count as giants.
So
The what counts as
many
giants?
Trees, dude, in Lord of the Rings. The Ents.
I don't know. They're probably like more like Ancients of War, so they're like 5, 10s.
Yeah, you're right.
So you
Lord of
probably
the
can't
Rings,
do.
there's no giants, I guess.
Although no, you can argue that they're iron bark protectors, so that might be giants. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're gonna see a predictable double molten giant, taunt them up, and then just still die to Shadow
And then
Flame.
rip into the ethers, yeah.
Yeah, and Tarei knows it. He gives out the well play. He's like, yeah, I know you have Shadow Flame. There's like only 4 cards in your deck left, and you haven't used a Shadow Flame yet. So yeah, Shadow Flame goes down. All the attacks go to face, and we see Tarei going down 0-2 right now. So Lifecoach can't use his Druid anymore, and he can't use his Handlock anymore. But he's ever so closer to winning the series because he's won 2 matches where Tarei has won none.
Insane, some would say, dude. Yeah, I think it comes down to using that Shadow Flame that last turn, maybe. Or, you know, close to last turn. I think he should have just maybe gambled a little bit with a bomb. See if it could, you know, kill one of those minions. Finish one with those Sun Fury Protector. Was he at any risk if he killed at least two minutes? 2 minions?
I think he was probably afraid of something like just double Dark Bomb plus Hellfire, quote unquote, lethaling him or bursting him down for like 9 damage plus whatever was on board. So, yeah, it's definitely something to be concerned about.
Yeah, for sure. So we're gonna be jumping into the next game here pretty shortly. I hope you guys are enjoying the stream. I'm sorry about hiccups in the past and present and future. This with me is Monk, and I am Cats.
Hi, cats.
Hi, Monk.
A cat's and a monk walk into a bar. It sounds
What
like the start of
happens?
some joke. I don't know.
I mean,
We'll
you
think
have
about
to
it.
tell the joke. A cat and a monk walk into a bar.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, why are you doing? What are you doing with the talking cat?" The monk's like, "Oh, I've taught the cat how to talk." I don't know. I'm bad at jokes.
No, keep
Yeah,
going.
why
I
did
was
you have
enjoying
to?
this.
Why did you have to put me on the spot like that, Cats?
I was enjoying your joke, dude. But yeah, we should be about ready to go. Rob? Okay. So we'll tell the players they're good. They're Gucci, some would say. A cat
You
and a
mean,
monk
you would say?
walk into a bar. And they're like, dude, can we have some milk?
We have some Hearthstone games to
And
cast.
they're like, for the monk or for the cat? And we're like, both, dude. Because monks, why the fuck is a monk at a bar, you know? Like,
That's
to
true.
drink milk, obviously.
Why would that happen?
And the cat, well, that's what we drink, so.
All right,
Solid
getting
joke,
into
man.
the
10 out of
the
10.
next match. You know, one thing about this this format is that we get to see a lot of the losing deck. So it might be heartbreaking. Like, I guess like in this format, the way you lose this format is you have like a really weak link in your deck choices. Like we saw that Tarei has been 2-0'd with his handlock. So if you bring like a weak deck to a tournament and you just can't win a single game with it, you've pretty much forfeited the series.
Yeah. So every deck has to be pretty good in this format. I really like it. We lost Lifecoach cam, so we're just waiting to... Now we Gucci. production informs me. Rob from production. And we should be good to start whenever the players are ready. What do you think is the next deck for Lifecoach here?
Oh, I'm just looking at the lineups right now. So Lifecoach has a Rogue and a Mage. So I think like Rogue is probably weak to handlock because even back before Miracle was nerfed and Gadgetzan was nerfed, they were relatively weak against handlock because they couldn't really deal with the Giants and the Drakes that came on the board.
Entering the game.
Sap was, yeah, Sap was more of like a temporary answer. So I think Mage is going to be the answer from Lifecoach.
Dude,
am I correct?
It's a Paladin.
It's a Paladin?
Did he have a Paladin? Yeah.
Oh, that's... I did not know Lifecoach had a Paladin.
Are you insane, dude? I don't see the Paladin in the image, Rob. Are you positive?
Okay. Well, the Rogue just got switched to a Paladin.
Oh.
I just saw the Rogue got switched into a Paladin in the
are
screen.
you
So,
accusing
yeah,
us of changing races for the player monk? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever saw a Rogue there, dude.
All right. I guess there wasn't a Rogue. You caught me there.
I didn't see no Rogue. I'm telling you that much. Hey, my thing is bugged. Oh no, these guys were just mulliganing like forever.
Yeah, fair enough. Pretty okay hand, I would say, from Lifecoach. And a pretty like good deck choice. Paladin is going to be, I feel like it's going to be favored against the handlock player. And this is like one of the reasons handlock has been falling out of favor. It's that there's so many decks right now that are favored against handlock. You have Druid right now, which I was saying is becoming more and more favored against handlock. And then you have Paladin, which is a class that has been growing a lot in popularity. And that's also a deck that's favored against handlock. So we might see just this handlock falling down 0-3 in this match.
You think so? That would be unfortunate.
Very unfortunate indeed. It's been a while since we've seen Tarei compete just outside of BlizzCon, and it would be really unfortunate
out of his game
if he goes out. No, I'm saying that it's fairly possible that he might not do very well in this game.
Damn. Lifecoach going for muster for battle, man.
Yeah, slightly weak to Hellfire, but you know what? It's you kind of force your opponent to have it. If your opponent doesn't have it and you have a Quartermaster in your hand, it just could be too much damage, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the key I feel to beating handlock is twofold. First, you have to have answers to whatever your opponent has, and then you have to have card draw. So Lifecoach definitely has the answers part down. He has double equality in his hand right now, but he doesn't necessarily have the card draw yet. You're really looking for cards such as Acolyte of Pain and Lay on Hands. And if Lifecoach draws those, he'll be golden. As we saw in the first game, Druid versus Handlock, Lifecoach had the answers, which were the BGHs and the Keepers of the Grove, and he had the card draw in the Azure Drakes and Ancients of Lore. So, and we saw how easy that game was for him, and we could possibly see the same from Lifecoach this game. And as I say it, Lifecoach draws that Acolyte of Pain, exactly what he needs. So, he has the winning formula to win this game. Both the Acolyte, his card draw, and the answers and the equalities.
Yeah. And cards like Muster for Battle are so powerful because they force out those AoEs. And even though this board looks like so threatening, right? It's really just 2 cards. And one AoE doesn't even clear it because of the Divine Shield. And now the piloted Shredder. Who do you think is piloting that Shredder?
You know, sometimes it's like what I find interesting about piloted Shredder is sometimes there's a minion that's bigger than the Shredder piloting it. Like sometimes you have Millhouse Manastorm, who's a 4/4 creature inside the piloted Shredder, and sometimes I have to think, how does that 4/4 creature fit inside a 4/3? Inside a 4/3 creature, it just defies logic,
That's where
right?
you're wrong. No, it does not defy. Dude, like look at the image, look at the artwork here. You're looking beyond the artwork, man. 4/4 is not his like weight and height, you know. That's his strength. Like, do you think Bruce Lee is a 1/1 just because he's small? No, right? He's like a 10/10, dude.
I don't know. The way I interpret
He's a
it is that
10-10.
these
Bruce
are,
Lee.
like,
Bruce Lee. What is he? A 10-10.
no.
Do you think he would
Sure,
fit inside
but
a piloted shredder? Look at it, Monk.
The
Look at the
way
piloted
the way
shredder.
I personally interpret it is that like the 4-3 is like pant sizes, like 4 is the width and 3 is the height. So
No,
like
no,
it
no.
doesn't
You
make
gotta look
sense
at the
for like a
artwork.
4-4
You
to
gotta
fit
look
inside a
at
4-3.
the artwork. Anyone fits inside a piloted shredder, except for a
Fair enough.
sky piloted golem. Is that what it's called?
Fair enough.
Or a
Piloted
giant.
sky
You know,
golem.
a giant would not fit in one of those because it's probably about the same height. Now this one's clunkier than the giant, so it only has 4 attack because you know it misses. It's kind of like old rusty machine.
Mm-hmm.
Where Millhouse Manastorm, you know, he's a mage, strong.
I wonder.
I feel like Tarei has a few lines of play here. He could try to Shadow Flame, but that's kind of playing more scared. And I feel like what Tarei is going to go with is probably the better choice, which is just a Sludge Belcher. Tarei saw that there was no Quartermaster on turn 4, so it stands to reason that there just might not be a Quartermaster on turn 5. So these 1/1s are not really that threatening. They're just 1/1s.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, that's the more solid choice. I mean, Paladin's not really a class that has a lot of burst damage, like, no real threats and combos to be... Like, what's the most damage that can come out of it? Maybe, like, the Sword of Justice? No, the Sword of... What is it called? Is it Sword of Justice? You know, the 4-attack weapon that heals you.
The Light's Justice?
Light's Justice. Light's Justice. I'm terrible at names. I call Quartermaster the douchebag, usually.
Oh, the douchebag. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
He looks like a
He kind of is a
douchebag,
douchebag
yells at
sometimes.
his people, and then they get stronger. Yeah.
Most people call him 2 arms man, but sometimes like normally he gives like 6 arms to men,
Yeah.
right?
At least 6
All right,
arms.
so Lifecoach is going to be playing around the potential AOE such as that Shadow Flame in Tarei's hand, and he's going to put out a piloted Sky Golem, another very threatening creature. To which Magic Amy, to which Tarei is going to, he might have to use his Owl, because it's just so threatening right now.
Yeah, Magic Amy was in chat, by the way, earlier, so shout out to her. And yeah, we could see an Owl Shadow Flame, perhaps, to clear everything but whatever is piloting the piloted Shredder.
I feel like Tarei is like intentionally making this hard for us to cast by naming himself Love Magic Amy. Like, I don't know if the viewers can see it, but his account right now is Love Magic Amy, and he used to be on Team Magic Amy, and Magic Amy is in chat right now. So I don't know.
It's pretty
This might be a huge
sketchy.
conspiracy.
Yeah. So we see the owl being pointed and dropped on the piloted Sky Golem. I'm not sure how an owl has this sort of power over a giant machine, but it does.
Yeah, we see a really good drop coming out of the piloted Shredder. The Neutron is like one of the best things you could hope for, just because it's such a value minion. And we see Lifecoach drawing the Lay on Hand. So again, probably one of the only card draw mechanics in his deck. So again, like, Lifecoach has exactly what he needs. The threats, or rather the answers to threats, and the card draw. 2 key successes, or two key parts of the formula that he needs to beat Handlock.
Yeah. A Neutron, one of those minions that I find are really undervalued. Like, it's on every mech deck, but it's not on too many other decks, you know? And I feel like it is indeed a pretty annoying minion to deal with. Like,
Yes.
say a
Sometimes
Handlock, like,
sometimes
it's
you see on Reddit decks that are just based around duplicating and echoing Neutrons, and they're not like necessarily good competitive decks. They just force your opponent to they just want your opponent to be annoyed, basically. They're
Yeah.
kind of like a douchebag deck, as you might put it.
yeah, most def. But yeah, look at this. I mean, the Molten Giant is gonna have
The map
quite a bit
giant
of trouble.
is coming down.
No, he's
Yeah,
he's this
he's
guy's
mountain. He's
That's because
not
he
molten.
didn't,
You
the
see red
mountain
coming?
didn't burn yet. That's,
I see.
it's a volcano mountain. So he's
Yeah,
soon to
it's
be
a-
a molten giant.
Let me
It's a good thing that that Tarei used a dark bomb on that acolyte, because if he didn't, this turn he could Lifecoach could Aldor the giant and even draw more cards out of it.
Yeah.
I think you like this turn you don't even have to Aldor. Normally you want to Aldor this giant, but this turn you don't really have to, just because you have that you have that Annoyotron, which is blocking like any attacks, and like the only way to get past this Annoyotron is like Siphon Soul or
or a silence.
or like
which-
or a silence or like I don't even know what else can get rid of
nothing
it. But, like,
that you want to waste on the Anniotron. Either way, like the Anniotron is insanely annoying right now.
yeah, and plus you even had the BGH, so why not?
Why not? This is a tough call. Tough call for Tarei. I mean, we know there's double equality in hand, no consecration, however. So he might have to at least trade in a couple minions or lose the shield of the Annoyotron. But Tarei pretty much has to taunt up. And is that going to be Rip? And he'll be at 1 HP on board if he decides to taunt up. Right?
The great thing about Paladin against Handlock is that as the Paladin player, you're not really afraid of putting the Handlock opponent down, because you can kind of deal with any taunted up boards just with your Equality. Equality is just such a great card in this matchup, and it's probably like the best card you could have against Handlock from any class whatsoever.
That's because you don't play Priest, bro. Light Bomb. One word, actually.
Yeah, that's one word.
Light Bomb. Light Bomb is
Yeah,
insane.
Light Bomb.
Hmm?
Light Bomb does sound pretty good. But like
Yeah.
Light Bomb can't even deal with like Twilight Drakes, right? Whereas Equality can like just wreck Twilight Drakes.
I mean, that's 2 cards you're thinking of, right? Like Equality plus something else, like Pyro or Consecration or...
Mm-hmm.
Light Bomb is a one-man army.
Fair enough, fair enough. So another key decision point for Lifecoach, he could try to play the long game and use like lay on hands here, or he could put more threats on the board with the piloted Sky Golem. I don't think he equalities this turn though, simply because the Molten Giant is just not threatening enough by itself, and plus I already mentioned that that like this Annoyotron will be hard to get past.
He does
For
have
anything.
2 equalities, though. Does he just use one now? Maybe even trade in the BGH and keep the shield on the Annoyotron?
Yeah, I think the shield on the Neutron is pretty valuable.
Yeah, most of. It's an extra minion, pretty much, right? And there's the equality. We'll see what he decides to trade. Make me look like... Oh, of course. That works as well.
Yeah. Yeah, 1/1's not that valuable. I think in this particular deck that Lifecoach is running that has 2 piloted Sky Golems, he probably actually only runs 1 Quartermaster. It's just kind of the trade-off that you get. Like, Pilot Sky Golem is just a better card for itself, whereas Quartermasters, if you have 2 of them sitting in your hand being all clunky, they're just kind of dead cards. So just a trade-off of threats, basically.
This was a tough turn. I guess he's dead, no matter what he does, right? Maybe Sludge Belcher. Sludge Belcher.
Well, he could do something like Shadow Flame the Mountain Giant. That would be pretty good. Or just like
Or a Drake.
just Shadow Flame the Twilight Drake. Shadow Flaming anything would make him not completely dead to board, depending on what comes out of these piloted Sky Golems and piloted Treaders.
Even. Yeah, looks like he wants to go for it. There it is. What is gonna come out?
Alright.
Who's piloting those beasts? More Annoyotrons! Are you surprised? I'm not.
I am not either. Yeah, again, like really good drops from Lifecoach right now. and there's 6 power on the board, so something like a True Silver would kill him. But unfortunately, Lifecoach doesn't have that True Silver. But he does have like a whole host of like really good cards. So
would you be surprised if the board right now got filled by Anoyotrons, like just filled randomly?
Randomly?
Yeah.
Well, then we would have to say that like Lifecoach is probably cheating, and we would have to probably disqualify him from the tournament somehow, which would be pretty bad. I'd say that wouldn't be. It would be amusing, but probably not good for the sake of the tournament.
Yeah. Not good for the scene. He wonders. What